Scott here, and welcome to yet another completely unprofessional unboxing. And as you've already noticed that with my, wonderfully ugly mug here showing up in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, that I'm doing something a little bit different here with my unboxing videos of the RPG books that I picked up over the past couple weeks. And I'm trying something different, trying something new. I am very technically minded. This is the natural course of events with anything that I start fiddling around with, that at least from the technical aspect of it, it may get a little bit more professional. But as far as my unboxing aspect, it's still going to be my trusty steak knife here and my own gibble-garbled opinions on whatever it is that I'm assessing as I open it. So as mainly stated in other videos before, these are strictly my own opinions, as professional or unprofessional as they may be, and take them for what they're worth, mostly a hill of beans, but never let my opinions on what I open here dissuade you from enjoying whatever it is that I'm looking at. So here we are. It's been a while. We had a little bit of an issue with my wife getting COVID, and so we've been dealing with that. So a lot of the videos and whatnot has been put on hold. I know I was trying to get a bunch out the first week of the new year, but that happened. And, when stuff like that happens, those become the priority. But I am back. And I am back with what I think is something that I think it's something that I ordered. It does come from Swordfish Islands. And if it is what I think it is, I'm very excited. I've been looking for this for a long time. And likewise, the author of this book, if this is what it is, big fan of, and generally speaking, a great guy in my opinion. So, without further ado, trusty steak knife down here, and I don't think I'll need it though, but it's still here in case I need to stab whatever comes out of it. So here we are. There we go, and we'll just kind of pull that out. Oh, it is. Okay, the reveal. The reveal. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so I'm going to just take a glance over at my screen just to see if it's positioned properly. Bear with me. Like I said, technically speaking, the professionality of it, if that's even a word, may get a little bit better, but I'm still myself completely unprofessional. So that looks about right. Yes, excellent. So what is this? This here is ORCS. This was produced or created, I should say, by a one Mike Evans. For those of you who aren't familiar who Mike Evans is, Mike Evans is the creator of Hubris, a DCC setting, and also other things. Let's see. Oh God, I am completely drawing a blank. I am so sorry. Barbarians of the Forbidden Earth. Forgive me if I get that one wrong, but I will correct it in the notes. But Mike Evans, he runs and operates a do-it-yourself RPG. One of my favorite logos out there. And Mike Evans himself is just, I'm a big fan of the stuff that he's produced. And also, he is a great guy to follow on the social medias. He is hilarious. He's fucking punk rock to the nth degree. And all in all, just seems like a wonderfully creative guy within the realm of games and RPGs. So, back to the product at hand. So, ORCS. What is ORCS? ORCS is a high-octane adventure. Sorry, I'm still checking the camera. I'll get used to this crap. ORCS is a high-octane adventure, a third-level module that takes place in Hubris, which is, as mentioned, a setting created for the DCC, Dungeon Crawl Classics game system. And just from the general look on the cover, we see a train traversing through some sort of wasteland with a variety of what looks like orcs attaching themselves to it and either trying to jump on or fall off. Who knows? But let's go ahead and I'm going to flip it over and see what the description is on the back. Okay. There we go. Orcs is a high octane adventure. Duh, right there. Mike Evans' personality, perfect. For 4 to 6 third level characters, set in Hubris, a world of visceral adventure, his own, which uses the awesome Dungeon Crawl Classics rule set. Inspired by Mad Max Fury Road and Snowpiercer, the adventure begins with PCs on a train, traveling the Great Plains of Unbidden Sorrow towards the land of perpetual stone and mire, where it is beset by an orc raid. The group must make their way up to the engine car, or they can just hop off and take their chances out in the open. Yeah, good luck with that. Battling orcs and their horrible abominations. The adventure doesn't have a map. Instead, it uses playing cards to generate the map at random. Each time a GM runs it, not only will the adventure be different based on the player decisions, the map itself will be different. Many of the rooms have random events that occur to spice things up even more. It even includes a new Hubris DCC class, the Gunslinger. Right there. I mean, enough said. If I had seen the description of this at a con, I would be elbowing people out of the way to sign up for this. Rule set be damned, whether it be DCC or something. Snowpiercer fighting orcs on a train. I mean, come on. It doesn't. I mean, it for this type of aesthetic, if you're into this thing, it doesn't get any better than that. So let's take a look inside of it. All right. So words and art direction by Mike Evans. Proofreading by Fiona Geist and Jarrett Crater. Some of you may know those names. Layout by Jess Gordon with Matt Hildebrand. Front cover art, Mike Fale? Sorry, I'm trying my best. Beautiful, though. Excellent cover. Back cover art by Angie Groves. Art, Alex Mayo, Angie Groves or Grooves, Brittany Groves or Grooves, Carmen Vance, David Lewis Johnson, Jennifer Bone, James Hansen, and Sonia Price. Dedicated to the amazing Google Plus role-playing community. God rest their soul. Without your support and amazing creativity, DIY RPG productions wouldn't exist. Thank you. Published by Jacob Hurst and Swordfish Islands, LLC. And as you can kind of see, maybe over here in the corner, there's another thing that arrived from Swordfish Islands with their very distinctive envelopes that a lot of their stuff comes in. That's going to be opening and coming soon. So let's take a quick look at it. All right, so we have a variety of information to deal with. So there's just the general contents. So there's the introduction, the background, starting the adventure, other bits and brambles. So I'm just going to kind of breeze over this real quick. I'm interested in the creation of the train, just seeing if there might be a description on how that works. So, okay, so here we go. The train, let's see here, something to note on the train. So let's point this out. Many of the doors of the train cars are locked and or trapped, using the same lock trap on the outside of both doors, depending on which way the group is traveling. A locked door can be unlocked from the inside, automatically disarming the trap. So, spoilers. Monster note, orcs are encountered throughout the adventure, many with different mutations or powers. Rather than repeatedly describe the monster, only pertinent information is provided. Great. Simple. Okay, so just some information on the permanent carriages. And of course, this is an adventure. I mean, I sometimes feel like I'm preaching to the choir, but if you are looking to play this adventure, obviously spoilers. So if you feel like that you can't deal with anything shown therein, fast forward to the end or look for another video. So as we continue on, so we have the different. So it looks like we have the description of the different carriages and what you might find within. Suggested attack patterns; those are always helpful. Those are very helpful. I like those. Okay, so here we are. So we have the different suits and type of cards. Going to determine the type of carriage that you'll be passing through, which is excellent. And so, and then each one carrying, some may have an actual event in there. then other is just general information. So I'm curious if this event, similar to the cinematic aspects of the starter set for Aliens, that adventure has not saying it's exactly the same, that adventure has a similar layout to where there's a variety of things that your players can encounter, an abundance, an overabundance within the Charity of the Gods, I believe. But there are key events that they suggest that your players experience in order to progress through the story, but with a variety of other things that, if you want to add a little bit of meat to the adventure, or flesh out some things that the player characters might be interested in. And, just initial pass through, just curious if maybe this is of the same vein. So if these events are something that are important, or they're just something extra outside of that, or they're not necessarily necessary, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I will learn more once I sit down and give it a proper read. Okay. So yes, and so far an excellent variety. I mean, it's not just every suit, every number has its own individual description. So he's not joking. This can definitely be played with a variety of different results each time you run it. And I mean, that's kind of like in the vein of the DCC aesthetic. I mean, this gonzo aspect of just, balls to the wall, just rock and roll, metal, just rocking on through this whole thing. And something that you would want to play again, because a lot of these DCC adventures are so fantastic and wonderful. But the thing is once you go through them, you really can't bring players through them again unless they're the special kind of players who can kind of avoid the meta of the game. But something such as this, you don't really have to worry about readjusting it yourself if you play this again, even with the same players, or if someone joins in with a new group, they're going to be in for a surprise themselves. So I really like this idea. Okay, and then we have these special cards. The face cards. We got the jacks. We've got the queen, the Black Queen's Chamber. Okay, so she plays part in this. Ballroom Carriage. So I'm trying not to, focus too much on the pages themselves to avoid the whole spoiler aspect. So we got the King, the Meat Room, the Blood Pit, and then the Joker. The living room. Okay, so yeah, I'm just looking at the picture here without even looking at the description. Don't really know if you want to go in the Joker room, if you can best avoid it. And then we've got your set of 1d6 random events. And then above the train. All right, so the characters may come up with the idea to go above the train. Yes, they will. Trust me. Any train, no one's going to go directly through the cars. They're going to find ways up and around and all over. And walk along the roof rather than through the cars. Or they may be forced to if the car explodes. And yeah. Mm-hmm. And they may even think it's safer, the fools. Yes. The top of the cars is a battlefield of skeletal gun runners, passengers attempting to escape orcs, abominations, and so on. Let's see here. We have a D100 chart of wonderfully delicious, malicious things that they... may have them second guess if they make it back down into the train of going back up again. Fantastic. Okay, so we have some, let's see, what is this? So we got some extra monsters here. A corrupted human, flying stingray abomination, orcs, and so on. And then off the train. The best intended modules are always tossed to the side once a group hatches their devious plans. There may be rails guided in train, but there aren't any on this module. The group may decide that the train is too dangerous and it's time to get off or get out of Dodge. Jump off and take their chances on foot. Or through events, the train may become too heavily damaged and players are forced to explore on their own. While this may frustrate some judges, allow it to happen. Okay, the events on the train or roof can be used as events occurring on foot with some tweaking. A person being attacked and force-fed horrible potions by orcs can easily happen out in the wilderness as on the train. Okay. A bit of advice there. Alchemical Tinkering Special Bullets. Yes. I mean, if it's not evident, I am a huge DCC junkie and fan. So this is, this kind of stuff is my junk food, my comfort food. This is the stuff that, I know I probably shouldn't be eating the entire bag of DCC chips, but before you know it, the chips are gone. So yeah, this is the stuff I love. And then the Gunslinger. All right. Well, this is a class, so this is not necessarily a spoiler. So I'm just give this a little bit of attention here. So in the vein of for those who may or may not know the DCC aspects, so what do we have here? We have a Gunslinger. Let's see, he's going to 1d8 per level. Okay, weapon training. He's trained in bolas, clubs, crossbows, daggers, short swords, wheellock pistol, and a wheellock rifle. And these are weapons in the Hubris campaign. Alignment, gunslingers tend to be cocky a lot, assured in their use and mastery of wheellock weaponry, so they tend to be lawful, while those seeking self-glory can be chaotic. Very few gunslingers gravitate towards a neutral alignment. Yeah, okay. Starting equipment, starting wealth, quick loader. The gunslinger can reload a wheellock weapon in 2 rounds instead of the normal 3. A gunslinger can shoot targets with a wheellock pistol without suffering negative modifiers, point-blank shot, rifle butt attack. Yeah. A gunslinger receives a free attack at D16 against any creature that comes into melee range if they have the wheellock rifle in their hands. Let's see here. When a gunslinger spends a full round aiming and doing nothing else, their attack is more devastating. If their attack is successful, it deals an additional 1d10 damage. The threat range for critical success is increased from 20 to 19 to 20 when sharpshooting. Skilled shooter. Chance of hitting an ally when firing into melee is reduced to 25%. Gunslingers train tirelessly with wheellock weaponry. They can perform tricky shots that function similarly to the Mighty Deeds ability. Oh, hell yes. Oh, hell yes. Mighty Deeds. Mighty Deeds with a with a rifle or a gun. Prior to a shot, a gunslinger can declare a trick shot. The gunslinger's trick shot die determines whether this was successful. If the trick shot die is a 3 or higher and the attack lands, the trick shot is successful. If the trick shot die is 2 or less, the overall attack fails. The trick shot fails as well. So on and so forth. Examples of trick shot feats examples of trick shots include feats such as, a little bit of a dyslexia slight there. Calling a shot to blast away an object held in an opponent's hand. Using a shot to snuff out the light of a candle. Shooting a bullet and having it ricochet off a wall and hit the target around the corner. Absolutely. Sliding down a staircase banister and shooting at a target. Fuck yeah. When fighting enemies that are single file, shooting a wheellock weapon and having the bullet pass all of them, dealing damage. Yes, I know what I'm going to want to play if I ever get back into a DCC game. And there's a wonderful picture of a trick shot. Excellent. Just around the corner and through the jaw. And then we have the Kickstarter backlist. Unfortunately, I missed out on this one. I don't know why. I've backed pretty much everything that Mike has put out. So my loss on this, but thankfully I was able to obtain a copy through Swordfish Islands, who has this wonderful book there for sale. But I do see familiar names on this list. Wonderfully familiar names, so it looks like he was well supported. Okay, thank you for your continued support. Yes, definitely go to DIYRPGProductionStore.com and check out all of Mike's other fantastic stuff. And then utilizing the OGL license, and we are at the back here. So that was a quick run through of ORCS, a high octane adventure, a 3rd level module for Hubris, a world of visceral adventure for the DCC RPG role-playing games. And, I mean, like I mentioned, wonderful cover. I mean, just look at this thing. So, there we go. Hopefully I didn't totally screw up this video by like I said, I do have a bit of technicality involved, so we'll see how it looks once it's done. And, just kind of glance over there. Am I still in frame? Yes, I am. There we go. So there we go. Kind of back in the saddle again with some unboxings, and going to be doing some additional, actually probably be focusing more on some pulls from the shelf, as a lot of things that I've received for the holidays and for an up and coming birthday need a bit of attention. And I figure what better place than to kind of force myself to go through them than doing a pull from the shelf on them, and give them a little bit of an extra attention, like I said. And what else? If in case I forgot something, yes. So if you enjoyed this video, obviously give it a like, give a subscribe, do what that wilt. I do this for fun. It's not doing anything to line my pockets with anything or seeking any sort of, YouTube glory. I'm an old guy. I don't need that kind of attention. But definitely check out my other videos. Take a look at, if you get a chance, check out Titterpigs, the podcast I do with Keith from Rolling Boxcars. We just had part 2 come out, with, Bud from Bud RPG Review and Pookie from Reviews at Relais, however way you pronounce it. .com. As we went through, part 1 was our review of 2021 and some of the games that we enjoyed, and part 2, which just came out, was our look at some of the games we're anticipating and hopefully being able to enjoy in this year 2022. So yeah, check that out. Anchor, Apple, any podcast servers, affiliates, whatever. And anything else that I've got going on? Nope, I think that's it. So there we go. Hopefully this turned out okay. My name is Scott, and this has been yet another completely unprofessional unboxing. I think I reverse that all the time. Who cares? But until next time, have a wonderful day.